What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Let's Grow podcast. I'm your host, Lex, and today we have another special guest. As you know, this season we are preparing for the next Cultivate Conference. That'll be on March 22nd, 2020 in Gonzales, Louisiana. And we'll be talking about forging the future, building our table. But today we're actually kind of going to go back a little bit and we're going to talk about last year's conference. And my guest, her experience with last year's conference, she's no stranger to the Cultivate community. Y'all know her, y'all love her, and she's just amazing. I want y'all to welcome Mrs. Arron Gray Lee.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, sis, how are you?
I'm doing well, my girl. How are you?
I'm doing well. I want to know, for the people that don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Okay, so for those that don't know me, my name is Arron Gray Lee. I am the owner of Exalt Your Risk. So we are a luxury faith-based brand, which we are now transitioning into an online boutique in 2026. So we offer Christian apparel, such as what I have on. It's biblical affirmations with the verse underneath, and then we do custom bracelets and faith-based accessories. I am also the founder of Exalted Girl Ministries, which is a nonprofit dedicated to helping women grow in Christ and confidence.
On my girl, it's all about building the ladies up, okay? And so last year, she came as a favor to me, honestly. I was like, hey, sis, can you come and you help me out with my table, like my vendor's table at the conference? Because, like I'm going to be doing like the hosting and all that. So I'm going to need some help. And she was like, absolutely. And the people loved you. They was like, where is Aaron?
But let me tell you how God worked though, because I wanted to go to the conference so bad and I waited to get my ticket. And I don't know, I don't remember like if the tickets were about to sell out and I was waiting to get some funds to get to the ticket or what. But you text me at the perfect time and was like, hey, yeah, can you work my table? I was like, glory, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But that's why I say, like, if God wants you in the room, He gonna make sure you in the room. Because
Right.
I was like, yes, I can work your table. And baby, Lex Lux was all over the building. Do you hear me?
Okay, you were all in the
And
hallway.
you
He's like,
know, I was not playing.
you weren't at all, and I loved it because, like, even though I wasn't at the table, I could tell that, like, your love and your energy was, like, hyping the girls up, like, they were, like, shopping. My watch was going off every time, like, somebody ordered, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, they really having a party back there."
We would.
But I wanna talk more about your experience as an attendee, like, this was your first Cultivate conference. It was my 3rd time doing it, but your first time attending, and I just wanna know, like, did you have expectations going into it, or, like, what was that like?
Well, first of all, I know like anything that you do is gonna be very much anointed. So I already knew, and because of the way that I got in the room, like I knew that there was a reason that I needed to be there. Like I knew that there was something there specifically for me. And I'm talking about from the beginning to the end, everything was just amazing. Like the speakers had so much wisdom. Oh my goodness. I sat there and I did my notes. I wrote it down in my notebook and I think I had maybe like 3 to 4 pages of notes just from the speakers that I had to transfer into my notes on my phone. But I was taking notes, I was asking questions, and it was a really, really wonderful experience.
Oh, and see, being that this is something that, like, was in my mind and then, like, I have to actually create this, like, God gave this to me in 2023, and he's just continue to build on it every year, but I never know, I guess, people's expectations maybe? I never know what they're coming in with. I'm always praying about it. Like, I'm like, Lord, I want to be discerning. I want to kind of know what I'm dealing with. I want to be able to like read the room a little bit. But when you told me you had notes, I was like, people really come here and take notes. Like,
Mhm.
this is I think that made it real for me, if I'm honest. It made it real because it was like, you go to other people conference and take notes. You go to these professional events for your job and for your career. and you do the same, so why are you surprised that other people are doing it? And I'm like, I don't know, it never, like,
'Cause you
came to
leg
me that that would be a thing.
'Cause you legs, but
You're right.
you gotta remember though, like, you are legs, like, you are everything that you do is truly, like, I've witnessed everything you do is backed by God. There is nothing that you do that you just doing it on your own. Everything that Lex puts her hands on or puts her hands in is signed, sealed, and delivered by the Lord himself.
You know what? You right. You are absolutely right about that, and a part of that is, if I'm honest, just, like, reverence for him, because we laughing because you know me.
Mhm.
But no, in all seriousness, like, I don't take that lightly because I know that these are people's lives that we're dealing with. Like, the people that are speaking, they speak to their testimonies and their experiences, but there are people that attend and they share too. Like, this isn't just a, you not come and watch an interview. Like, we all out here crying and asking questions and just mingling and meeting people that are in the same season that we're in, and it's amazing to see, but it's heavy to carry. And so you're right. It has to be backed by him because I don't know how it happens without him. Like, I don't think that this is possible without him. So it's like either you're gonna do it or it's not gonna be done. Because I can't do it. In my little self, I know I can't. So I love the way that you said that. She said, "Signed, sealed, and delivered by God." And it is. It has to be. And the second part of that is I'm needy. So I'm like, "God, I'm not moving until you tell me." Or he might say, like, "Go back to the last thing I told you." Okay, I did. What am I supposed to do with it? Like, I am a little needy in that aspect, but it keeps me, it keeps me grounded, it keeps me present, it keeps me sensitive to whatever the Holy Spirit wants to do. So, I appreciate you for saying that because that's real. That's very accurate.
It is, and I'm not just saying that off of one experience. I'm talking about everything that I've watched you do from the minute I met you is that way. So I love that about you. It's very inspiring. I'm trying to get to where you are because sometimes I be moving too quick. You be like, I ain't tell you to go that way. I be like, okay.
And I was about to say, we've all done that. We've all been there. We talk about this. We talked
Mhm.
about that in at Bosses Breaking Bread, like, making God your CEO and really leaving him there. You gotta fire yourself sometimes and say, let me sit down. Hold up. My bad. Overstep, clearly,
I'm doing a little bit much right now. I'm doing a little bit much.
but you learn from it. And I think people, like, I'm listening to what you're saying and I receive it. Like, I just think that I know the work that came to make me this way. Like, there were experiences that made me say, let me bring this back. I actually can't do nothing without him. Like, apart from me, you can do nothing. Like, that's very real, especially when you are called to people. I mean, we're all called to people, right? But when you are operating in assignments that deal with people's hearts, like with the Exalted Girls Ministry, and you're always like working with confidence and self esteem with women, like that's nothing to play with, like that's not something that we can just add our own 2 cents to. It's like, no, these are God's people and you can't play with that. And that's how I feel about conference. Okay. So tell me about these notes. What's one thing you took and implemented from last year?
So there were a lot of things that I took away, but the biggest thing for me was serve in the waiting. Because at the time of conference, I was still very, like, in my waiting season, and I'm, like, trying to get into the rooms, I'm trying to be seen, I'm waiting on breakthrough and all of the different things. And sometimes you get in that waiting season, it's like, "Okay, Lord, like, what is going on? I'm getting tapped out. I'm on my last leg. Like, what am I supposed to be doing?" But the biggest thing that I learned at conference was to serve in the waiting. Ask the questions like, "What lessons am I supposed to be learning in my waiting season? Like, what is the waiting supposed to teach me?" And let me tell you, serving in the waiting has just opened so many doors and so many opportunities that I would have never expected just by me, like, "What do you need?" Like, "Okay, let me help you." Like, "Is there any way that I can help you?" Like, "What can I do for you?" has just been like,
Yeah. Even that's interesting because that's exactly what you did for conference.
Yeah.
You were like, "What can I help with?"
And I didn't and it's crazy that you said that because I didn't even know that's what I was doing until, like, I didn't recognize it until after somebody put some language to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna get in where I fit in, and I don't have a problem with that. Wherever you need me, baby, that's where Imma be.
Yeah, you really are a servant first, and I admire that about you because you do it with so much joy and so much, like, love. It's hard to not like you, like like, truly, you are just such a bubbly person that's like, "Hey, what can I do?" Baby, the people were, like, talking to me about you like you were one of the speakers. They was like, Erin, she's amazing, she's so sweet."
I try not to know a stranger. I was walking up and I was talking to people. I'm like, "Hey, beautiful," and I mean that's just who I am. Like I'm gonna tell everybody, I am truly like just a girl's girl. Like I love sisterhood. I love women. Like everything about us. I love it.
And I love that you brought that up because you're known for speaking into the lives of women, like, that is what you do in Exalt Your Wrist as well as Exalted Girls Ministries. And so when did that message, like, speaking into other women become more personal for you?
I think it's always been personal for me. The reason that I have Exalted Girl, or the reason that I feel like God gave me Exalted Girl Ministries and Exalt Your Risk, is because I've always had this struggle about like self-esteem and insecurity. And so I think that's just in my nature. Like I have always wanted to make women feel the way that I wanna feel. And so when I'm calling other people beautiful, it's because they are truly beautiful, but it's also me trying to, like, talk to myself in a sense. So I've just always been like that because I think that, one, we don't tell each other enough, like, "You are beautiful, girl," like, "You look good wearing that dress," like, "You smell so good, I love that perfume you have on," like, I've always had that heart, and I think a lot of that stems from me just dealing with my own insecurity.
Yeah. And I think that's the power of partnership with God because he will take what we deem as like our weaknesses or our disqualifiers, like what disqualifies us from doing anything. And he's like, "No, I'm actually gonna flip that on its head." Because you actually are about to take territory in that area or, you know, operate in that lane in some way. Because for people like me, like if I wouldn't have known you, like let's say I didn't know you, I would never know that that was something that you struggled with as a child. Like I would have never said, "Oh, she's someone that struggles with self-esteem," because you live it like you're very intentional about living it in the opposite way. Of like, actually, no, I'm gonna lean into what God says about me. If he says I'm set free, I'm set free.
Girl. And sometimes you just have to I don't know where I don't remember where I heard this at, but sometimes you just really have to just, like, speak it until like, even if you don't believe it.
Mm.
Like, 'cause there are some things that I still feel like I'm a little bound in, but I'm gonna let it set free because who the sun sets free is free indeed, okay?
Right.
So we gonna roll with it.
Yeah. And you really are speaking to yourself every time you do it. Cause you have to read it when you put it on. You gotta read it when you take it off. People gonna read it to you while you wearing it. I think it's a great conversation starter. And I think that's why I like fashion too, because it's an expression of who we are, where we at, where we trying to go, right? And even what you were saying about like speaking until I've heard someone else say, speak it until you see it, because you may not see it now, you may not believe it now, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. Like what he said about you is true today, tomorrow, yesterday, even years ago when you probably didn't even realize it. But the fact that you're so intentional about not just doing it for yourself, but to do it for other people, I think that's really admirable because I think pain can turn us inward and we can go me, 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 and it's my world and it's self-care and that's not healthy for me and my boundaries and da 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 da. But it's another thing to intentionally think about other people in the midst of that. So kudos to you, sis.
It's all glory to him.
Yeah. Honestly, because like, he really does use you in that way, and I love it. And I wanna talk more about that, but, like, on the personal side, how has being a wife and a mom shaped the way you think about confidence?
Being a wife and a mom is different, okay? Like, and it has its moments, but going back to the insecurity, I think it shows up a lot, and that's something that I'm trying to get out of. I think it shows more like in my when I'm being a wife or when I'm being a mom because they're here all the time. Like these are the people who I'm constantly surrounded with. And it's so many times where I'll make a mistake or I'll do something or like I'll fuss before I really just take a moment to like just pause and think about it, and it just makes me feel like you are not doing a good job. And that weighs on me so heavy. But circling back to what you said a little bit ago, I read something that said the area that you have like the biggest struggle or the biggest pain is like the area that you are most anointed to be in. So even though I like there are times when we clash, like me and my son, baby, we are okay, we are opposite, but they say opposites attract. Like my husband is so calm and my son is so like fiery and adventurous. And I'm like, Lord, what is this little combination that you done put together? And I'm so hard on myself, but then I have to remember like he is intentional. Like he doesn't make any mistakes. So there is a reason that he chose to put all three of us together. And I have to learn to one embrace my journey of becoming. Like sometimes I get so focused on like the end result, the end version of the becoming that I don't take a minute to just sit in the becoming and enjoy that process because they tell me all the time, "You're the best mom in the world. You're the best wife." And I'm just like, "Oh, it doesn't feel like it, but thank you." So, I hope that answers your question.
It definitely does. I think what you're saying is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's cultivated your confidence in a way because you have to take it and receive it when they say it. And then in the moments that they're not saying it and you feel bad, you gotta pull from that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so, like, this molding of, like, I feel like maybe God is, like, changing your mind around what confidence is
Mhm.
and shifting where your confidence is because it's not in you anymore, but it's in Him. And it's like, "Okay, I know I can't do this alone, like, I can't do this apart from you, but I'm confident that you can help me to
Mhm.
do whatever it is for your people, because like,
Right.
these your sons, like so
Very much yours.
he is molding your confidence and changing it, changing the way that you view confidence in general.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I love that. So kinda in relation to last year's conference, you talked about how serving in the wait was, like, the thing that you really took. Like, that was your, "Ooh, Imma hold on to that, and Imma really, like, live that." How did that shift begin to change things for you?
I think a lot of people started to notice me, which made my brand more visible. It has, like I said, it has really opened like a lot of doors. Like I've been in rooms I know I don't have no business being in. Like I've, connected with so many people that I would have never connected with had I not, hey, let me help you with this. And, it's all God, I swear, because I'm like, I didn't even realize me just being me could open up so many doors.
And do you think you were trying to depend on your own, like, confidence and strength in the beginning, and that's where you were experiencing that frustration, but then when it became, like, "Well, it's not about that anymore," like, more so confidence in God and, like, whatever he's doing in the waiting, he's doing it. Like, do you think that that was the shift? That confidence piece?
I think it was just being okay with, "Okay, Lord, if this is not your time for" like, releasing my own expectations of what I thought that season was gonna look like. Like, "Okay, Lord, clearly this is not going the way that I anticipated this season of my life to go. So I'm just gonna do what I can, and Imma let you do the rest." And it's way harder, way easier said than done because it is not easy at all. But I did have to remind myself, like, from time to time, because 'cause I'm like, we can say that, and then we waiting a little bit longer than what we thought we was gonna be waiting. Okay, Imma serve in the waiting, Lord, Imma serve in the waiting. And then the waiting is, like, 2 months past what you thought you was gonna be waiting. It's like, "Okay, I said I was gonna serve, but I didn't know I was gonna be waiting this long, Lord." But you just gotta release, like, your expectations of how you think it's gonna go, like, and I've recently had to remind myself of that, like, Christmas passed, and I'm just like, "Okay, I'm gonna release all expectations of how I think this season of my life is gonna go, and I'm just going to surrender it to you. Lord, I can't do nothing with it anyway, so you might as well just go and take it, cause I can't do nothing with it."
You're like, "Have your way. Look, you got this."
'Cause I don't.
I was gonna say, I think you can say that now because of that surrender then. Like, that was what, 9, 10 months ago at this point. You you were like, "Okay, we gonna do it your way." Like, you got it, and then you saw the fruit of that. You saw what came out of that of like, "Oh, wait, you actually were just waiting on me to let go and stop trying to do it my way and to do it with you and to do it your way in partnership with him." And then now you're in a season where it's like you're tempted to pick it back up and tempted to, you know, be self-reliant. And he's like, "Mm-mm." So at this point, you got the lesson. You like, "Nah, Imma just go ahead on and give it to you. You got that."
'Cause sometimes it take a while though. 'Cause it takes a minute for me to learn sometimes, but I'm like, "Okay, well, I've tried all that I could do." 'Cause I'm very ambitious, and I think sometimes that's kinda like a pro and a con. So once I've exhausted all of my options out of my own strength, I'm like, "Let me sit down for a second."
Yeah.
And then that's when you're like, "I ain't had no business picking that up no way." Like, that was never mine to deal with in the first place. Like, it was never mine for me to try to figure it out.
Yeah. That's good. I hope y'all heard that. Like, that's a gem because I've been there. And when you look back in hindsight, you like, "Okay, God, I see what you were doing. That didn't have nothing to do with me. I
Yeah,
was and I don't need to be you. So let me not do that."
nothing. And then when you see how he works it out, it's like, "Nah, I know it wouldn't go nah, if I woulda did it, it definitely was not gonna go like that." So this is
Mhm.
why I ain't had no business with messing with him because what you just did just blew my mind. I couldn't have never done that.
Yeah. Exceedingly abundantly. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about what stuck with you. I wanna know what surprised you about last year's conference?
I don't know if anything really surprised me necessarily because I knew that, like I said, I knew I needed to be in the room. So I don't think anything necessarily surprised me. I think I was just really appreciative more than anything of how vulnerable the speakers were. Because it's really hard, especially when you're talking about a really tough season in your life, like something that really could have broke you, but by God's grace, you're still here. And to share that and to just open up, the speakers were very vulnerable about their stories. And I think I was just really appreciative because you never know. And like the things that they were saying, like, touched me so much. So I was appreciative that they were so open to sharing their story and sharing their journey because they knew it was going to help somebody else.
Yeah. Mhm. We think I was like, "Oof, am I gonna make it without, like, crying?" I don't know
Mhm.
why. I don't know why I asked that because 'cause Imma cry every time. It don't take much.
Yeah, shout out to the speakers from last year because it was amazing. Every speaker was
They
truly,
are.
truly anointed by God to be there. Shout out.
Yeah. And he's so intentional with that. Like, that's something I have to pray about for a minute because I don't ever wanna put my hand in that. Like,
Mhm.
I believe in partnership with him, but I also believe that in partnership, you know your place and you know your role. And I couldn't have picked more accurate or fitting, appropriate speakers for that season for the people that were there because God knew, like, He had already ordained that. Like,
Mhm.
these people are attending, so these people need to speak
Mhm.
so that they can get this to them. And you don't know what that does for people. Like, You just don't. I've been seeing people more after that, like at church and other places and stuff, and I talk to them and I can hear it and they'll say something. And I'm like, wait a second, like that really spoke to you. Or like I'll see them post about something. Nothing beats that the 2 days after when people posting their pictures, I'd be like, "You really had a good time." And not that it was just like a good time to like be with your friends and
But
take
it
pictures
was
and eat food,
impactful.
but it was like, you are leaving here with something. That
We
I
we
couldn't.
left we left with a lot. We left with a lot, and I think even though but I'm just a big note taker anyway, but I think whether you took notes or not, I think everybody left with something, whether it was just one thing, but that's really all you need is one thing that's gonna really just change the way that you think about something, change the way that you move, and I'm pretty confident that everybody left with that one thing.
Yeah.
Good job, Leg.
Glory to God. Look,
Glory.
I just did my part, but, again, a part of that is knowing my place and knowing that I'm just a vessel, so glory to him for even allowing all of that to happen. I know he's not tired of me. Let me not say that. I was about to say he probably tired of me, but no, he's not tired of me. We're working on this next one because,
Mhm.
this year, as we go into 2026, the conference theme is Forging the Future, Building Our Table. And it sounds like a strong theme, but when you get up under that and you're like, okay, what does forging the future mean? It's heavy. It got some weight to it. So the concept of forging is to shape and mold metal into whatever it is that you want it to be. And forging is a process that blacksmiths go through to make whatever they're trying to make. Let's say they're trying to make a desk or like the leg of a table or the metal bar that's gonna hold the door up or something like that. All of that, it takes work, and they have to, like, heat up their metal to a certain temperature, and then they have to, like, have, like, precise hitting of something, and it's, like, repeated pressure over and over and over again, and they're refining this thing to make it what they want it to be. So, like, it might have started off as something that was, like, straight, but they need a little curve in it or something. They're, like, repeatedly hitting that piece or whatever. But it also the process of forging, it goes from, like, heating and hitting to it actually has to cool and be neutralized at some point. And so, when I was doing my research about, like, the concept of forging, I was like, "This is what God does us." This is, like, the physical expression of what it's like to be in a refining season, and that's heavy.
Yeah.
People don't wanna talk about that, and I think some of us do because, like, we're looking for answers and we're like, um it's not that I want relief, but, like, I kinda wanna know, like, what's going on or, like, what am I doing this for? Then you have other people that are like, "Alright, I kinda don't wanna listen to that or talk about that," because it's hard and it's uncomfortable when we experience seasons of refining, and then there's the other part of, like, building our table. I think that's what happens through the refining because like we go through seasons where God is molding us and shaping us to be who he's called us to be. But specifically for this, forging the future means that we are shaping the road ahead. Like we are making decisions now that impact future generations and just future seasons for what's to come and what's to happen. And we are making the things that we want to see happen versus just taking the cards we're dealt, essentially. And so the building our table piece is that community piece. We always talk about community at conference. It's one of our pillars and it's really important for us to talk about like what are we telling future generations? What stories are we telling them? What are we leading by example in? And how does that look to them? Those are the things that we're going to talk about this year. How do you feel about that?
Oh, good. I feel like it's definitely a conversation that's needed. We talk about breaking the generational curses and we talking about, leaving this legacy of like wealth and all of the things. But what actions like are we taking now that are actually breaking the generational curses? What legacy are we leaving other than just wealth? Are we leaving a legacy of love? Are we leaving a legacy of healing and wholeness? So I think it's a really important conversation that we need to have, and I'm excited to have it.
Yeah. Me too. I am, but I'm like, I can't wait
It's gonna be
to
deep though.
experience, like because I think we all bring something different to the conversation, and, like, somebody in the audience, like, they gonna ask a question, and it's gonna be like, "Oh, that was good." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I can't wait to experience those moments, but I think that this is such a powerful theme, and it just feels like it got a little weight to it, like,
It got a lot of weight to it.
and so I wanna know for you, how are you currently forging the future?
I think for me right now, my biggest thing is, for one, making sure that God is my center. I went through like a little phase this year where I kind of like drifted away for a while, and thank God he never leaves us, even, when we want to do our little own thing. And thank God he's faithful even when we're not always faithful. But I think that's my biggest thing right now is just keeping him at the center, of everything I do, praying more, worshiping more, getting back into spending time with him and just making that time intentional, but also making it fun, like to where I want to spend time with God. Like I don't not just something that I do out of habit or routine because I know that's the Christian thing to do. I look forward to, spending time with him, waking up in the morning, doing my praise and worship and all the things, and just really being present. Think survival mode. I don't think I know. Survival mode will definitely take you out of being present. Like you're just moving, moving, moving. And I was in survival mode for a very long time. And so now I'm, coming out of that. So my biggest thing is me being able to be present with my family, not drifting off in my mind when one of the boys are talking to me. And just overall just really being intentional about being present, stewarding what I have, and making sure God is the center of everything that I do right now.
Yeah, it sounds like you are working on that spiritual legacy piece of like, I have to get this right so that I can lead from a place that is anchored in Christ
Yeah.
versus anchored in survival mode or anchored in myself or anchored in other people's wants, needs, and desires. But like, no, we're starting with Christ and everything else has to flow out of that.
Right, exactly.
I love that. Yeah.
Wealth is one thing, but like I just said, what else are we leaving besides the wealth? Like everybody wants to, have their grandchildren's be taken care of, but it's got to be more than that.
Hmm.
They got to know Grandma Erin, baby, she was praying. Okay, she was on her knees praying for us. Thank you, Grandma Erin, for the prayers.
And my girl said, Grandma Arian, your son is like 8.
Well, we gonna get there. I'm not there
Love it
yet.
though.
But I still like living off of our grandmother's prayers. Like I'm
Hmm.
still getting blessed off of them prayers from great grandmother, and that is the legacy that I want to leave.
I love that. That's so real though. Like truly. 'Cause that's real wealth to me. I think that type of legacy, you're rich in life at that point, like, because you know how to steward what you do receive in
Mhm.
terms of, like, materialistic things, but you also know how to steward your time, and you have wisdom. You are sitting with God and saying, like, "Okay, where are we? What are we doing?" It's not just living in the moment, like you said. You are truly like, "No, I'm here and I'm present, but I'm also discerning of what's going on and what's taking place and what I'm doing," and just being super intentional. I always use those words when it comes to you because you're extremely intentional, and I love that about you, and so I definitely think you're leaving a legacy of intentionality.
I hope so.
For sure. I can see it. Like, I mean, I'm not your kid, but I know you,
I
I can see it.
pray so.
Okay. So let's go to the building our table part of that. From your perspective, what does that look like in community? How do we build our table?
I think it looks like just overall making people feel seen and making people feel loved. Like that's really my biggest thing. Like when you leave somebody, how do they feel like when you walk away? Like, do they feel like, oh my God, like she really understood me, like, or she really uplifted me? Like, community building your table with community is making people feel loved, like being a living vessel of Christ and just sharing the love. We all
We do need it, and I think that speaks and sums up all that you do in your everyday life, like as mom, as wife, as friend, as business owner, as nonprofit founder. That's what you do. That's your lane, that's your assignment, and you do it well. You do it well for
Stop
sure.
it. Stop it.
Making people are seen, known, and loved. That's your thing
Thank you, girl.
for sure. Okay. So as we wrap up, do you have any questions for me?
No, but I'm excited, girl. I'm excited for this year's conference.
Me too. I'm getting
It's
there.
gonna be really good. Now you
Yeah.
gotta breathe now. You look like you like holding your breath.
No, I'm not, but I think around this time of year, it just gets real. It's
Mhm.
like I spend time with, it's just me and God. Like it's us. And he's unpacking whatever this message is in my quiet time and my word and study and reading time. And it's like our little thing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, now we got to bring it to the
We gotta
people.
share it.
And that's why I'd be like, you sure? Like, okay. Cause I know like we grow to give, right?
No.
There aren't things that he gives us that we're not to give to other people. I know that. But to just walk that out in full obedience and to totally be yielded to the Holy Spirit is like is waiting.
I'm so proud of you though. I'm so proud of you, and the best was still yet to come.
It is. And we're in expectation. Like, we're in expectation for what he wants to do in it because I understand as the steward of this that it's only my job to put it together, but it is totally his job on that day. What happens in the hearts and the minds of the people that are there, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I just prepare the atmosphere, and then God is just doing. He gonna do the rest.
Jolene, let
Mhm.
him be glorified through all that you do. I'm so proud
Glory
of
to
you.
God. He is kind. He really is kind.
Yeah.
You gonna make me cry. You keep saying that.
No,
I
I
know.
really am. Like, I really am very proud of you. I'm very, very, very proud of you. You are an amazing, phenomenal, spirit-led woman. Like, and I just love you so much. And I'm so super proud of you. And I cannot wait to see all that God is going to do for you and your businesses and your family in 2026.
Come on now. I love you. I want to hug you. Like I want to like.
I love you more.
It's always y'all. You, Stacia, and Aisha. It's always y'all.
I love me some Sasha, baby.
I go far. Okay, so on this day that we're recording, I'm actually doing her episode later on today.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
I'm sure it's not gonna be just you. She probably gonna do the same thing. But
Thing out, girl. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if you like fully understand or not, like how God is like really using you, but you've always been like the fact that you are so yielded at all times has like always been an inspiration to me. I'm like, and I don't just say that just to say it, like you really live a spirit led life. Like that's why I said at the beginning, nothing that you do goes without God's hand on it. Like you don't make no moves without his okay, and you are
yeah.
completely surrendered and it shows in everything you do. Baby, the fruits is fruiting, okay? The fruit is fruiting.
Okay. Cause now you sound like Megan. Y'all be all in my business, bro. Y'all, like I really do love y'all, and I'm blessed to have people. Yes, I'm avoiding eye contact. 'Cause you about to make me love that God has given me a village that speaks and that pours into me and that reminds me of the things that I might forget. Or maybe I don't forget it, but like it's kind of like in the background. It's like, yeah, I know, sure. But you right. You are very right. And I want you to know too, like for the people that's watching this, because I think we forgot we
Girl,
recording for
we
other
done
people.
forgot we was being
We had a whole conversation.
recorded. We done went out.
It felt like FaceTime real fast.
Excuse us, y'all. Excuse us.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Girl,
What I
we on
said.
this podcast like you sitting here. Oh, I have two tickled.
I don't even remember what I was about to
Girl, I
say.
don't know.
I think like I was gonna say like I want you and the people listening to know like I wasn't always yielded. I wasn't always a person that was surrendered. I wasn't always a person that was, I'm not moving until God say move. I was quite literally the opposite. And I was like, scared money don't make no money. And you eat what you kill. So let's go get it. Like very much go getter, worker bee, very self-reliant. That's the word, the right word to use. And he had to get all that out of me. So I think when you and I met, I was already at a place where it was like, okay, he's pruned a lot of that.
Mhm.
But I think hearing you speak to me and speak life into me, it just reminds me of how far I've come when it comes to being forged and refined and all the things. Cause who
You baby, it ain't for the weak, honey.
it's not. But I also think like, who am I that you are mindful of me? That's a psalm that I hold so closely to me because he didn't have to trust me with Cultivate Conference. He didn't have to trust me with Let's Grow Podcast, but he chose to. And I think it would be a disservice for me to not give it back to him, you know?
Girl, you're giving me chills. God is so good.
Yeah.
God is so
He
good.
Okay, so how can yes, I'm pushing this right on back to you. How can the community support, pray, and connect with you? Because I think you are doing amazing things. You are changing the lives of our women, man, like our generation and the generations after us, and you just do really great work, not for what you do in terms of like brand, but like how you live. Like you live this out in a way that is inspiring. You live this out in a way that is honoring to God, and you are showing people what it's like to do life with Christ. So I want to know, how can we pour back into you? How can we support you?
Um, I think my biggest thing right now is just pray for my strength for the journey, baby. Cause it has really not been easy, but like you just said, who am I that you are mindful of me? Like, for whatever reason, God chose me to do the work that I'm doing, and I love it. And I love it so much. I love women. I love girls. I love to make people feel loved. And so it comes with its challenges, like you said, sometimes it's a little heavy. So I just need some strength. That's all.
Yeah. And as you go, he's gonna continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
As you go, he's gonna continue to give you all that you need and meet every need and perfect that which concerns you. So I hope that you know that truly. And if you don't, Imma remind you every time. So
So my prayer last night was for me to like really have the strength to do the hard things. Cause sometimes if it gets too rough and it gets too hard, I have this avoidance thing. I want to come on over. I'm gonna go on over there. But I know that there are things like specifically this year coming up that I have to do, and they're a little hard, and that's okay because good things don't come from easy. So strength to do the hard thing.
we got you. Well, if you just listen to our FaceTime call and you are still rocking with us,
Baby, 'cause a FaceTime call is what it was.
it turned into that real quick. That's what I'm saying. Thank y'all for listening to this episode of the Let's Grow podcast. If you have not gotten your ticket to 2026 Cultivate Conference, you need to do that right now. You can go into the description of this podcast. If not, you can type in bossesblog.com. Go ahead and purchase your ticket. I want to challenge you to also purchase a ticket for a man in your life, because this year we're inviting men to the table. We didn't even talk about that. How do you feel about that?
I'm ready because they have such a different like, they think way differently than us. Like, with me
Mhm.
and my husband just having, like, our little, talks or whatever, I'm like, we are not the same. We are not wired the same, and the viewpoints that they have, like, it'll be something that we can't rationalize it, or it just is so, like, out there in our minds, and he'll say something, I'll be like, "You know what? You got a point." So I'm excited to get their viewpoint of this talk. So I'm super excited for that. And make sure y'all get y'all ticket, baby. Don't wait to get your ticket. Don't wait.
Okay.
Don't wait to get your ticket, baby, because we selling out this thing. So I would advise you get your ticket.
You heard her. You heard what she said. Go ahead and grab those tickets at bossesblock.com. And if you want to keep up with all of the promo, we do a giveaway at least once before conference. You want to follow us at bosses.block on Instagram. You can follow me at lex.lux_. Erin, how can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Arron Gray Lee, Arron Gray, Gray, Lee, Lee, or at Exalt Your Risk, EXALT, not exhaust. I know sometimes people think it's exhaust, and I'm like, okay, but it's Exalt, EXALT Your Risk on Instagram, and Exalted Girl Ministries
On Instagram.
on Instagram.
So make sure y'all go follow all the pages. I'm going to put them in the description, of course. But thank y'all for listening because this was definitely a FaceTime call.
But it was so good. It was so good.
It was. And if you're listening, I really hope that you can take something from her journey as well as my journey. And don't forget to stay rooted, stay aligned, and grow in every area of your life.
Bye, y'all.